So the bloodline comes out. Reigns, Uso, and Jay. Cole said Reigns has been champ for 705 days, and the Usos have been tag team champs for 382 days. So then they go to another Gunther video package for next week, which is actually pretty good. And they come back to the ring. Reigns and the Usos held up their titles in the ring, and then Pyro shut off on the stage. Reigns told Greenville to acknowledge him, and there seemed to be more cheers than boos. Reigns said the crowd knows the deal. They defend their titles and then come back to SmackDown to brag about what they accomplished. And Reigns said there were things that need to be addressed first. And Reigns brought up Brock Lesnar and said there were some boos. And there were some boos. Reigns said he hates Lesnar too. He says, but I respect that man. He goes, but I still hate Brock Lesnar. And Reigns said they hate Lesnar because he tried to kill the wise man, Paul Heyman. Reigns said they weren't sure when Heyman would return. And Reigns said that when you take an F5 through the broadcast table, you're going to go to the hospital. So he said he wanted to send his prayers to the wise man. Drew McIntyre made his entrance without his sword. It's interesting. And said the people have heard enough, which is kind of weird why he would come out without his sword when there's 3 bloodline guys there. It's like, right. I don't know. That was a little detail that I thought was strange. But I guess it makes him look more of a... the sword does make him look like a schmuck a little bit. Why do you need that sword?
Yeah, I've been saying the same thing.
Right. So maybe... And he's an imposing guy with his shirt off with muscles and everything. So he doesn't need the sword, right? McIntyre told the crowd to scream if they wanted to see him take apart the bloodline, and music played, and the Kross's music plays, and Scarlett's on the stage. Then Kross attacked McIntyre ringside and slammed his head into the ring steps, and then blasted him with his forearm to the back of the head. Cole acknowledged that Kross is a former NXT champion, and Scarlett comes up to the apron and placed an hourglass on the apron and looked up at the bloodline. Kross and Scarlett stared the trio down while standing over McIntyre. Kross pointed to his imaginary watch while Cole said the clock is ticking on SmackDown. The best part of this was Roman's facial expressions every time they showed him. He was kind of like, what's going on here? Kind of like indifferently interested, like what, but the fact that they were just very stoic standing there soaking it all in what actually made this a pretty good segment. What'd you think?
I thought this was great. And I see a lot of hate for Karrion Kross on the internet, and I just think to myself, forget the fact that he's our boy, because even if he is our boy, if he's not ready, we're going to say it. I do not see what anybody cannot see in this guy as a star. I will say this: I do think that Kross needs to be way more aggressive than he is. Sometimes I think he takes care of his opponents a little bit too much. But other than that, I thought this was a great ending. Scarlett looked great. He looked great. We're going to have a fresh matchup we've never seen before. 2 big monsters. This is going to be really good.
Right. And I'll say this.
And I like Scarlett with the hourglass. Did you see when she put the hourglass?
Yeah. That was good. But this is what people don't understand. And when we were watching Kross at NXT and why he comes across as such a star, is that the typical, there's this culture of
Can't believe you have to explain, but go ahead.
Well, it's like the smart mark crowd that I talked about this last week, and that just Meltzer and these guys and stuff, and these dirt sheet guys and stuff, they're just so into the work. And I'm like, guys, you just really got tunnel vision when you're watching a wrestling show, because there's so many other things that go into a show. Kross does great vignettes. Kross has a great look. Kross has a great entrance. Kross looks like $1 million and stuff those are when I talk about the 5 tools of professional wrestling, if you don't like his one tool wrestling, you can't deny the other four tools he has are he's top level. He looks the party, he speaks the party, acts the party. I don't know what people are looking at when they're watching professional wrestling and can't see larger than life. I think that the fact that they have so many.
Meltzer doesn't like Kross?
He's not a big fan of his.
Really?
At all. Nope, not a fan of his.
Why?
Not a big fan at all. Just because his work.
Big. Come on.
That's
Dave knows better than that. Dave's a historian. Dave knows that guys like Dusty Rhodes and
here's
Jim
what I want to
Duggan and all these other guys that weren't great wrestlers per se, because it isn't. And we've said it on this show a million times. Anybody can wrestle, dude. Really, anybody can basically wrestle if you put in the time and you have the dedication and the passion. But not anybody can connect with the fans. Not everybody has that charisma.
Right.
And he has.
Not everybody can act really good.
Right.
A lot of guys are not convincing in their act. It's right. They look like they're reciting lines and stuff. He does not. He looks like the real deal. His character is he plays a psychotic.
Yeah.
Badass guy, and he plays the part you buy it. Right? It's just his
promos are
right.
He took parts
above average. His look is above average. Everything about him, bro.
Yeah.
He took parts from different movies and books that he liked. Like I can see it and hear it, like American Psycho or Nietzsche and like that. You can hear like philosophical in his promos and all that. But another good thing for him right now is the dude's in the best shape I've seen him in. Like when I saw him at Starrcast, he looked jacked. Right now, I know when he was in NXT, he had an injury. So at one point when he came back, he wasn't as big as he had been. But right now, he's looking really good. He's looking in shape. So it'll be a good visual, like you guys said.
Well, if they push him and just mirror the push that they gave him on NXT and just do the exact same type of put with he'll 100%.
It kind of looks like they're going to.
They're going to. And then the funny thing about this is
because Triple H knows talent, bro. He's there. That's his call. He's there, and he's going to push him, and that he's going to be very smart to push him, just like Ricochet he likes Ricochet. Good. Ricochet's the best high flyer you have in that company.
And you know what, too? The best thing about Ricochet this week, instead of this happy-go, Vince has these guys doing these generic babyface promos that they do for cheap. Right. This week was like he's laughing at, hey, okay, you want to laugh? Okay, let's go. Right. This is the way
you want to see the smiley face in the ring, or however you put it. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
They went out there and they killed it, bro.
Yeah.
He is a special performer, and we haven't even been able to see half the he can pull through in WWE. I hope they let that guy go. Let's go, Trevor.